Mornings. Some people, the morning routine is chaotic and stressful and just starts the day off with a whole bunch of crazy, right? Other people, their mornings go more smoothly. I'm Jen Sabotin of Fuel Your Transformation, and this is part of my Jumpstart Your Journey series, where we're focusing on getting past the idea of overwhelming stuff in your life. And so in this particular episode, we're going to talk about the morning routine and some simple things that you can try that might help your mornings go a little bit more smoothly. Now, these are things that I've tried, some things that I do in my morning routine. Not everybody has to do all of them. I'm just sharing some things that work for me and putting it out there that these might be some things you want to try to help your mornings go a little bit more smoothly. I know that there's some books out there and some people who do various techniques, getting up an hour early, getting up to read, getting up to meditate, those sorts of things. And if you do that and that works for you, that's great. I personally get up early enough, to get ready for my job. I'm a school teacher, so I have to get up early and be to school early. And I don't think I could function if I got up an hour before that. So that's not one of the things that works for me. I am a morning person as far as like focusing and being organized and getting tasks done. I can do that in the morning, but I'm actually more creative at night. So in the morning, I'm more organized and task oriented. Staying up later at night, I'm having brainstorms and getting ideas and that. So I kind of function on both ends of my day. But I want to focus right now on my morning routine. So here are some things that I do. One thing that I do when I first wake up in the morning is sit up on the side of the bed. And yes, I admit I hit the snooze a couple times, but sit up on the side of the bed and I just do 10 breaths. That the idea of 10 deep breaths. So it's a deep inhale and then a long, slow exhale. And I do that 10 times, real deep in and real full exhale. 10 of those. Now, not super fast because you don't want to get dizzy or anything, but 10 nice deep breaths. If you're worried that closing your eyes will make you fall back asleep, then keep them open. If you want to close your eyes and just kind of, sort of meditate a little bit while you're breathing, that's great too. It helps to oxygenate your blood. You're going to feel that in your lungs and in your blood, and those 10 breaths are really going to kind of help you get energized. All right. The next thing I do, I go ahead and I get up, and I have a little notebook. It's actually this notebook on my nightstand. So I get my notebook and I look at it because sometimes when I'm going to bed the night before, I have a lot of ideas in my head. I mentioned to you that I get those creative ideas at night, and I try and deal with all of them before I get to bed, but sometimes I get in there and that idea or that, oh, I can't forget this tomorrow, pops in. So I just jot it before I go to sleep into the notebook, because then I'm like, okay, I'm not going to forget about it. So I can put it in the notebook and get it out of my head. Then the next morning, after my 10 breaths, I just look in the notebook. Sometimes I'm looking in there to see what I wrote down from the night before, kind of check my reminders. Other times, and I don't know if this happens to anybody else, but other times I think of things at night and I wake up going, oh, I got this. So I jot it in my notebook, because otherwise, you go through the rest of your morning routine in your showers and whatever, and you might forget those. So I'm looking at my notebook after my 10 breaths to see anything that I wrote down the night before, or to jot down any new ideas that happened overnight that I want to not forget about. So that's my second step. Number 1 is my 10 breaths. Number 2 is I check my notebook. Then I go ahead and I get out of bed and I go and take care of bathroom stuff. So showering, all of that sort of thing, and get ready. The next thing that I do is when I go out into the kitchen is I get a glass of water. And I use not super ice cold water, but cold water, just an 8-ounce glass. And I drink that, not chug super fast, but pretty fast. You can just do plain water. I actually happen to do lemon water. So I use the juice of half of a lemon. So 1 lemon gets me 2 days worth. So I just take a half of the lemon, squeeze it into the water, and chug that. If you don't want to put the lemon juice in, you don't have to. I happen to like that and read some things about it, so I do that. But plain water would be great. It just, on an empty stomach, it gets you hydrated. It gets things, you haven't had something to eat or drink for the last 6 or 8 hours, so it gets that going for your system. The next thing I do, and this one's going to seem kind of crazy, is I spend 2 minutes, and so I know someone's going, I don't have 2 minutes. You have 2 minutes. I spend 2 minutes in a power pose. And what I mean by that is sort of a Wonder Woman pose. So feet a little wider than hips distance apart, your arms up on your hips, shoulders back, looking up, and breathing. So don't hold your breath, but standing in that Wonder Woman power pose and just holding that for 2 minutes and really feeling your shoulders back and in that powerful stance. There's science that supports the idea of being in that powerful stance changes the body chemistry and the brain chemistry, and that it really starts to get things in a more positive way. You start to feel more positive. It's something I do every morning. You can also do it anytime during the day. If you're starting to feel like bogged down at work or stressed out, or I know, like I said, I'm a teacher. Sometimes I'm just sitting there grading papers and I'm like, get tired or whatever. Just stand up and do that 2-minute pose, and it changes how your body feels and the chemistry going on. So do that for 2 minutes. So we've got 4 things so far. The 10 breaths, check my notebook, take care of bathroom stuff in between, drink the water, stand in my power pose for 2 minutes, and then the last thing is eat breakfast. Now, I would love it if every morning I could have a nice hot breakfast of, eggs and all of that sort of stuff. I don't have time for that. If you have time to cook a breakfast and have it, that's great. Go ahead and do that. Otherwise, a breakfast that you can take with you is fine as long as it's something healthy. So make a smoothie, have some cottage cheese and berries, have some Greek yogurt, pre-cook some hard-boiled eggs that you can take with you, things like that. So have a breakfast. I know it's easy to get kind of stressed out in the morning and just on the run and then skip breakfast, but that's really not good for you. Your body already just fasted overnight, and that's the whole point of breakfast, is to break the fast. So don't make your body not eat for another 6 hours until your lunchtime. You know what happens then? 9 o'clock happens and you're about ready to gnaw on your arm, and then you go to the vending machine and you buy junk, and you guys know the deal. So don't do that. Have some breakfast foods planned out. Like I said, things that you can kind of grab and take with you easily if you don't have that time to cook in the morning. So those things, guys, 10 breaths, check your notebook, water, power pose, and eating breakfast. Those are 5 really simple things you can do, and they're really important things to do. So hopefully you can try a few of these things and see if they worked for you. I'd love to know in the comments if you try any of these, if they work for you, or what other things you try in the morning that help your mornings go more smoothly. All right, guys, until next time, take care. I'm Jen Savotin.